Koine, feeling, and welcome. Today we are in John chapter 3, starting a new paragraph, well, technically two paragraphs. We're going to handle both of these together. 22 is a standalone, and 23 is also a standalone in the text. Today we're going to be doing verse 22 of chapter 3, and then next week we're going to handle chapter 23, and then we're done with this section. I believe after this we have one more real paragraph until the end of the chapter, so not much left. Here is our rubric, everything that we're looking for as we go through this text. Let's go ahead and get started. Metatauta, euthen ho Jesus kai hoi mathetai, autu eis tein Judaean, gein kai eke diatriben met auton kai ebaptizen. Sorry, I got that one wrong. So, we want to find our verb first, as always. We've got euthen right there. Epsilon nu is our quite familiar by now third person singular. And this is from erkomai, eleusomai, elthon. So this is aorist tense. It's active. Well, active in the aorist stem, but it's deponent in the present and the future, I think. And it is indicative. So we have ho Jesus right here as our subject with that omicron from ho he to. The Jesus came. Now we move back to the beginning of the sentence. We have meta tauta. Meta with accusative, especially when it's a demonstrative without anything to point to immediately. This is a colloquialism for Greek, and it just means after these things. And these things, of course, are Jesus speaking with Nicodemus at night, talking about, well, something related to baptism and salvation. And all of that, we don't have everything they talked about, I don't think, which is actually really sad. But what we do have is interesting enough. Refer back to the videos, which I assume you watched, dear viewer. Let's move on. Kai and hoi mathetai. We know this is nominative plural. The disciples. Autu, genitive his. And then eis is a preposition, since we don't have an accent right there. Tein, Judaean, gain. These two have the same case, so looks like it goes at least through here. Kai eke. Eke is a adverb. It's a prepositional phrase, has to end right there. Eis is taking the accusative, and it is singular. Alpha nu, eta nu, and feminine. Into the, and then I can never remember how to spell Judean. It's like I-A-N, I-I-A-N. I don't remember. So, just going to do Judah, land, and fix that in post. Kai and Eke there. Diatriben, epsilon nu right there as our ending. So take a look at the beginning of this. You've got an epsilon, an augmenting vowel at the beginning. That means that we have a past tense, so this has to be either aorist, perfect, imperfect, or pluperfect. And if we know the principal parts of this one, it's diatribo, I want to say. So then this would mean that it's actually imperfect. So third, singular, imperfect, active, and indicative. And this one has four basic meanings. And there, he, we're going to go with the easiest form of imperfect, was spending time speaking. Running out of room. Wasting time speaking. Delayed, or delaying, or residing. Since we only have one verse as context beyond just referring back to when he was talking to Nicodemus, which one of these is exactly intended is not quite clear. However, I would say probably spending time speaking or delaying, maybe, and definitely not going to be wasting. Jesus doesn't waste time. Residing, no, not really. as we may see later on. Depends on whether or not the part of the text after verse 23 here talking about Jesus after these things. Again, that would be the clear and make it clearest for us, but we don't have that before us. We don't know. We won't know until we get there. And by then I will have forgotten. Met auton. So we get plus genitive here, and that is plural. It's going to be masculine. Masculine generic. Maybe referring to the disciples, maybe referring to the people who are in Judea. That is entirely uncertain as well. With them. Hence, with them is why I lean towards spending time speaking or delaying. Kai and ebaptizen, epsilon nu, with this augmenting vowel right there, off of the present stem tells us that this one is also imperfect. So it's going to be the same form as that. Just pull it over. And he was baptizing. Okay, so our other options for the imperfect, last thing that we really need to do for this one. He used to spend time speaking with them. He kept spending time speaking with them. He began to spend time speaking with them. He emphatically spent time speaking with them. Or he was spending time speaking with them. We can apply any of those to both of these. So since we know that he just came, began is a good option. Was is a continuous action while he was there is another good option. Emphatic is almost always a great option. Habitual, maybe, maybe not. We really don't have enough in the text to say one way or the other. Now, reading this, we would get a little bit more context, enough to imply that no, habitual is not the right one, at least not for ebaptizen. Well, there we go. That's about all I've got on that. Now we just read this in its own context. After these things, the Jesus came and his disciples into the land of Judea, which I cannot remember how to spell. And there he was spending time speaking. He was delaying with them, and he was baptizing. So there we go. That's just all we really have to look at. It's such a relief. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope taking a look at this text has been helpful for you, and I hope you have a good day. Farewell. Hey, not asleep yet? That's okay. I've got tons of other videos that are equally sleep-inducing. Check them out. Alternatively, you could take a look at this video over here.